Hey, welcome back to Project Me. Bit of a different video today, actually. This is more of something I'm still processing, so I'm gonna try and work through my thoughts out loud. So it's not something where I've got an end goal of sharing like I might normally do. It's a bit of an interesting video. I'm not too sure where it's gonna go, but I'm excited to try it. But before we get into it, real quick, rapid fire gratitude, 3 things. Firstly, grateful to 3 friends of mine, we'll just call them Q, J, and H, who came over yesterday night and invited themselves over, really. But it was nice to have their company and spend some time with them. And the reason they invited themselves over yesterday is, well, it was a birthday, and yeah, we'll need not say much more than that, just the rest of the video. Second thing I'm grateful for is a beautiful day today. Seriously beautiful. First good day we've had here in quite some time. Usually been rain, lightning, thunder, the works. But today was a beautiful day, and I was studying in campus and the fire alarm went off. So I made my way outside, and as I was going outside I ran into someone who I don't normally speak to, but who's just a delight to talk to, especially after this conversation. So we ended up walking across the street and sitting in front of Parliament and just chatting it up for about an hour. We were both supposed to be doing our readings for the law class, but we just had a great time talking to each other. So really glad I ran into her, and she's from Ireland, which is where some of my family is. So some good connection there to begin with, and I just had a great time talking to her. Just a delight. And so if it hadn't been for that beautiful day and for that fire alarm, it wouldn't have happened. So I'm really glad I had that conversation. Just that made my day in a way. It's just nice. And last thing I'm grateful for is my friend Ith, who came over yesterday to drop off a bottle of wine. He texted me in the morning saying he was going to come to it. And I was like, no, the wine is utterly unnecessary. You do not have to do that. Please, I'd prefer it if you didn't. And he goes, I'm coming over anyways. So I'll see you then. So I went to the local supermarket later on in the day after my lectures, and I bought some cheese, some crackers, and some salami, and made a bit of a charcuterie board so that when he came over, I could, share a little bit with him for thanks of bringing me wine. His was far more expensive than what I offered him, and he didn't take it home with him. So I got the far better side of the deal, but I hope he felt that I was grateful for his gift, because it was a really nice thing for him to do, and expensive as well. We're all students, we're all struggling out here, but yeah. So the topic of the video today is a bit of an interesting one. So it was recently my birthday, yesterday. I'm not afraid to say that here because I've got no internet passwords or anything related to my birthday, so all good there. It's, a birthday is very sacred for a lot of people, and totally understand why, but it's very much the opposite for me. It's very much a day of self-reflection and, for lack of a better phrase coming to mind, ego bashing. In a way, I very much hate my own birthday. I'm not afraid of getting old, which is what most people assume I think of when I say, birthday is more about self-reflection. It's not that. I'm not worried about getting old. I embrace it. It's part of life. But I don't know. Birthdays. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore celebrating other people's birthdays because it's just a celebration of them, and I love that. But for me, I've been called egotistical in the past, mostly as a joke, but it has really gotten to me because I try to gear my entire life around not being egotistical. And that's eventually evolved into the form of not celebrating my birthday because it's a celebration of myself, which is something I suppress at all other times of the year. So to suddenly throw a birthday, a day of celebrating me, seems a bit at odds with that principle. Because I feel like I can't consistently call myself I don't want to say humble because it's not humble, but I don't want to call myself not egotistical if I give myself like a cheat day, because it doesn't quite work that like that, you know? You can't just cheat one day and expect to keep going the next. So there's that thing, there's that aspect of it, but also, I don't know, I feel like if I'm going to celebrate myself, as hard as it might be, I'd have to do it for something that I feel was worth it. And maybe this is just a me problem in the sense that I don't feel like I have enough self-worth to celebrate myself yet, and maybe that'll just come with time. I'm not sure, but I also feel like I haven't done enough with my life that I'm proud of to celebrate myself as well. But then that also makes me wonder, will I ever do enough in my life to make myself proud of myself? I think Matthew McConaughey had a really good speech at some awards ceremony a long time ago. I never watched those, so I couldn't tell you which one, but I have seen clips of it, and it has always resonated with me. I'll just explain it briefly. He's grown up, and he's still quite young, and someone comes up to him and he goes, who's your real life hero? You know, who's your hero? And he goes, okay, I'll think about it. He comes back a few days later, he tells that person, my hero is me, 10 years from now. And then 10 years later, that person comes up to him and he goes, who's your hero now? And he goes, it's me, 10 years in the future. You know, my hero is always 10 years in the future. I'm always chasing. Right? And it's a bit like that for me. But of course, the risk with that is, will you ever be satisfied? Will your ambition ever be fulfilled? Will your purpose ever end? You know, it's very much a question I think we all grapple with to different extents. And something I'm certainly grappling with now. So, I don't know, I feel quite melancholy about my birthday. You know, I'm very grateful for all the efforts that a few people have gone through to be there for me and celebrate with me. Not that it was much of a celebration, but I'm really grateful, and I hope I made that clear to them. But yeah, it's a little bit hard to articulate because I'm not bitter about anything, but I'm not entirely sure what the melancholy sadness is stemming from. I suspect actually that it's coming from maybe a few things. Firstly, that what I'd hoped to have in my life by this point, I would have, but I don't. So, coming up short in that respect. Another thing is, well, I guess sort of elaborating on that, not having enough close friends, I suppose. You know, I've got 2 friends I would consider close, and maybe 5 or 6 friends maximum. I've got a very different idea of friendship to what I suspect most people have. A lot of people throw out the word friend willy-nilly, you know, haphazardly, but I'm a little bit more cautious with it. I suppose what most people would consider close friends, I just call friends. And I have some really close friends outside of that, but I see most people as just friendly faces or acquaintances you catch up with once in a while, or people you see often, but you know, yeah, that's just me though, you know. I don't know, growing up, I never felt at ease in primary, elementary, intermediate, middle school, or high school / college. I just never found my people, and people always said, hey, you know what, you'll find your people in college, in university, you know, you'll find them like that. Still no, I'm not pressed about it, but I mean, it'd be nice to have, you know, because we're not after happiness, let's be honest, it's so fleeting. We're just after peace, really, and peace comes through being understood, feeling understood by something. And for most people, I suspect it's through people. Feeling understood through connection with others. And I just don't have that yet. Just the way it is. I just hope that I have it by now, and I don't, but that's okay. We move forward, right? We move forward. And is there another reason why? Why else am I feeling sad? It comes, I think part of it is just a dissatisfaction with my life, perhaps, and the people I'm around. I think I've talked about this before, but I'm very much, especially at my age now, really struggling to find the balance of how much effort I put into a relationship before I pull myself back, because they're not putting in the effort. You know, when the topic of friendship comes up with people, I always ask, what do you believe is the most important principle or value in friendship? And some people will go, what was it that someone said the other day? Loyalty, for example, which is, yes, it's important, but is it the most important? I would disagree. I would say it's reciprocity, reciprocating, right? Because a relationship, platonic or otherwise, but I'm talking about platonic here for the most part, it's a two-way street. It's me and you and me. Reciprocal. It's got to be reciprocated. And I'm really struggling with finding that reciprocity in a lot of my relationships. I am putting an effort, and I'm pouring an effort, but I'm not getting the same return. And I don't know at what point I should stop putting in the effort and pull back and save my energy for people who deserve it more or would enjoy it more, And what I'm finding is I'm putting in a lot more effort in most people than I probably should. And it tires me. For one, I feel exhausted at the end of the day. I feel dissatisfied as well because my efforts aren't reciprocated. Again, I'm not bitter, it's just people finding people, trying to find their people. But it is a little bit frustrating, It is frustrating. And I want to be very clear, I'm not complaining. It's just the way it is. I'm taking it as it comes. It's just hard facts, pure facts. And just the way it is. I'm sure things will change eventually, but this is where I'm at. And it's quite hard to come to terms with. But we're getting there, I think. We're getting there. Yeah. But in any case, new chapter of my life now. We move forward. No other way but forward. Even a step back is forward if you turn around, right? So I don't know. Melancholy is a very accurate description of how I'm feeling right now. General dissatisfaction with life, but hopeful for the future, I suppose. Hopeful beyond hope. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe over the next few days I'll try and process how I feel more and try to articulate it in a better way. But nonetheless, I hope this resonates with at least some people, so that other people realize they're not alone in how they feel. I'm not sure. In any case, take care. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day, evening, or night, or brunch, or afternoon tea, second breakfast perhaps. I don't know. Take care, guys. All the best to you.